Hey, this is Juice from Juice Plop's Happy Hour, bringing you After Hours. This is getting out a little later. We usually do our podcast on Sundays. We actually did it on Saturday this time, just because we had plans. Plop had a birthday Sunday, and I told my wife that I would go with her and her two little brothers and her mom and dad to the circus around here. So we did. So we decided to try to straighten this out. We decided to do our podcast on Saturday and all that good stuff. So what we did was the Montecristo White. That was the cigar we reviewed, and it was a good cigar. If you watched my last video, you would have heard me say that I don't like Dominican tobacco, I don't like Connecticut wrappers, and I don't like torpedo-shaped cigars. Well, that's pretty much all this cigar was, and I was okay with that at that point in time. It's something that I was looking forward to. It was a Saturday afternoon. I didn't want anything super heavy. I didn't want anything real complex. I just wanted a nice afternoon cigar, and this one fit the bill perfectly. So the pre-scent aroma that we got from it was a wet cedar smell. For those of you that have humidors, when you first start seasoning your humidor, it's that smell it gives off. I know it always gives off that cedar smell, but when you wet it, that wet cedar smell, that's what the cigar smelled like. And also a hint of manure. Now, for those of you that don't smoke cigars or aren't into cigars, a manure smell in a cigar is not the type of manure smell that you get driving down a country road with your windows wide open and you just get smacked in the face with cow patties. It's not that type of smell. This is a very, from my opinion, when I smell a manure smell on cigars, the scent, it's pretty indicative of a good cigar. That's what I found out personally. It's not a overwhelming kind of, oh my god, it's gross smell. It's a pretty mellow smell, I guess you could say. So, I liked it. I enjoyed that smell. In a cigar only. We went ahead, heated it up, and got the first couple puffs on it, and it was pretty good. A little spicy. Not a pepper spice, but just a spice to it. Nothing hot, no heat to it, just a spice. And also a lot of woodsy kind of flavors to it. That wet cedar smell, that's kind of how it tasted. That's pretty much how it stayed all throughout until about halfway. At about the halfway point, the spice completely left. It was gone. At least for me, the spice was gone, and it was replaced by a woodsy flavor. That cedar smell that you can get from it, that's how it tasted, that wet cedar taste. And a nice cool smoke to it. It had a very cool smoke, very light smoke also. And oily. The wrapper on it was oily, and it left a sweet, kind of a sweet taste on your lips. So you would puff it, exhale, and when you went to go lick your lips like I just did, you get this kind of sweet taste to it. So it was a great cigar for what I was looking for at that time. Now, saying that, this is not a cigar I would go out and purchase. This is a cigar that I would happily smoke if someone offered it to me, or if it came in a sampler package or something along those lines. I would smoke it in a heartbeat, but it's not one that I would personally go out and look for. I'm never going to buy a box of these cigars. But this is a cigar that I would recommend to newer smokers, just because it does have a good flavor to it, and it doesn't have a lot of that smoky flavor that I associate with bad cigars. It's not bitter, like I find a lot of lighter shade Connecticut wrapper mainly is a culprit of this, that in my opinion, but it doesn't leave a bitter taste. It actually is a very satisfying cigar. It has a nice woods flavor to it, cool smoke, and it's sweet on lips. It's a good cigar. So me and Plop gave it a 6.8 out of 10. No issues with it, except for Plop. His wrapper blew up pretty much about halfway through the cigar. It just completely almost came undone. which I don't understand because mine was perfect. And the cigars we smoke sit in my humidor for about a week or two before we actually start smoking them. So give about probably 2 weeks. These cigars have sat in my humidor right next to each other at the same temperature, same humidity. So I don't know what the reason was for it to blow up. But my cigar, have been having this problem where his wrapper will be perfect and then my wrapper will blow up. It just flipped around this time where my wrapper was perfect and his blew up on him. And I don't understand why, because they're right next to each other in the exact same humidor. So I guess it's just one of those things. Any other things we had about it? The draw on it was pretty tight at the beginning. It wasn't Arby straw, and a milkshake kind of tight, but you had to put some effort in to get some smoke. But that opened up about an inch into the cigar. It opened up. The burn on it was really good. It was almost razor sharp all the way around. It had a nice ash to it. The ash fell off about an inch naturally, just fall off. Other than that, I did have to relight mine a couple times, and I think so did Plop. So not a big deal. It didn't take long to do that. You just had to relight it. So that is the Montecristo White, and we gave it a 6.8 out of 10. Alright, moving on. I already started this review once, and I accidentally bumped it and had to start all over again. So, just throwing that out there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 6. This was Plop's pick of the week, and for a good reason, too. It was a good story. We have the Turtles, who are following the Foot Clan. The Turtles find out that the Foot Clan are following this guy right here. And this guy is a French martial artist. Now, the Turtles are following him. This French martial artist is confronted by 2 members of the Foot Clan, and they're watching this scene unfold, and the French martial artist is stabbed by one of the Foot Clan members. At this moment, Raphael jumps over and says, "It's not a fair fight, it's 2 against 1, I'm going to help him out." Well, after that happens, the Foot Clan throw their little bomb and they disappear. And the Turtles go back to Splinter, tell him what happened. Splinter says, "It's probably a good thing that you guys did not get involved and are just doing recon, because we don't know who is with us and we don't know who is against us. So it's probably for the better that you stay out of it." And with that, Splinter is also sticking to the story about a reincarnation. He believes that the Turtles were his 4 sons in a past life. And if you read the past issues, you'll know that this ancient shredder of sorts killed, I believe it was the wife, and her dying wish was to protect the children. So he ran with the children, but the shredder found them and ended up executing all of them. And I can't remember the name of the Japanese family, but pretty much Splinter was the father in a past life, and his 4 kids were the Turtles. So, I did not think anything of this. But Plop brought up a good point, which is this true? Is Splinter really the reincarnation of this father? Are the Turtles really the reincarnation of his children? Or is Splinter just so dead set on this being true that he's making it up? Because Splinter is the only one that has these recollections. The Turtles don't remember anything about anything before they were Turtles. So maybe Splinter is just, he's so focused on this being true that he's making it true. So, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good question that Plop brought up. And it's something that I'm interested in now. Alright, next we have X-Men Legacy. 261. I think I did my last one 260 point. Yeah, 260.1. This issue was way better, by far, much better. Exodus shows up. He is not happy that the mutants have split up into two camps, being Wolverine and Cyclops. So he came and said, "You guys are getting back together." And all the members at the school were saying, "No, you don't understand. There is a reason why we did this." And Exodus doesn't want anything to do with this. He says that pretty much there is absolutely no reason for you guys to be split up, and I'm going to make you join teams again. Rogue says, "No, there is a reason. We believe it's justified. Look into my mind, and you'll see why." So Exodus peers into her mind and says, "Oh, you guys were justified in this. I will go take care of your obstacle." And at that point, I believe it's maybe Wolverine says, "Did we just kill Cyclops?" I'll just leave it at that. So it's a good issue, way better than 260.1 and his X-Men. So good. Alright, Voodoo, number 5. I was debating whether or not to make this my pick of the week. I ended up not doing it, but it came very, very close to being my pick of the week. Here we have Voodoo, Priscilla Catan. So I'm going to pronounce her name from now on. Catan. She is a hybrid. She's half alien, half human. She confronts a full-blooded demonite. I believe that's what they're called, a demonite. And they get into a battle. He was supposed to kill Voodoo. That does not happen. It goes the other way. So, with that, Voodoo is very happy because she believes that the information she's going to share with, I believe she calls them the Overlords. She believes the information she has on the Earth superheroes, being pretty much the Justice League, that they will be able to take over Earth. And she will be like a savior for her kind. So she goes to download this information and she's bringing it all up and she's accessing all these files. Superman has been accessed, Batman, whatever, all those. Well, there's a little surprise there. Her name pops up. What can this mean? Not sure, but let's just say Voodoo, you're going to have to read this issue because it's good. Voodoo may not actually be Voodoo. So, I don't want to go give away the end because it was an ending that I was not expecting at all throughout this whole series. Nothing. They kind of hint at it in one of the issues, now that I think about it, but definitely pick this one up. This is a good issue. The whole series has been good so far. I think it's been underrated. I really do. I think it's been underrated. Alright. Justice League Dark, number 5. This is my pick of the week. Just because I like the action, and I like what questions are brought up at the end of the issue. Now, for those of you that don't follow Justice League Dark, I'm not going to try to explain it because it is very confusing. But I will say the team finally is together. They are finally working together, if reluctantly. But they're finally together, working together. And, I'll say Moon June and the Witch, what's her name? The Enchantress? Yes, the Enchantress and Moon June are finally reunited, which could spell big problems. So, and here comes my beautiful wife, ruining my time.
Are you doing that?
Yeah.
Can I talk to you?
No, because I can't go back and edit. I'll try to make it quick. Justice League number 5.
I'm not listening.
I know. Alright. Sorry for that rude interruption. Justice League number 5. Good. Now you got me all flustered. I think what I'm saying. Justice League number 5. They have encountered Darkseid. This issue is pretty much just about Green Lantern and Batman. And Superman makes an appearance, but he gets shot down. So they're in battle with Darkseid. Darkseid shoots these tracking laser beams out of his eyes. The Flash outruns him. Superman gets hit by one and goes down and is taken away by one of these demons that are flying. Green Lantern thinks that he's going to stand up to Darkseid by himself and absolutely just gets demolished in the process. And Batman reveals himself to Green Lantern, says his name is Bruce Wayne, takes off his mask and tells him that, Green Lantern, you have a lot to say, and if you have something smart to say, the team will listen to you, so you need to go back and regroup, make sure everyone's safe, and I'm going to go save Superman. So Batman voluntarily gets taken away by one of those demons. So, again, Justice League number 5. Got Jim Lee with the art, which is just, it's fascinating. Absolutely incredible. And yeah, it was pretty good. I would like to see more with Cyborg, just because I don't know a lot about him. And he only says like one thing in the comic, and that's pretty much, I think he says like no. I think that's all he says. But he seems interesting. And just, yeah, I'd like to see more of him. That's my only complaint. Alright, here we have Batman Dark Knight. Let's see. This is a pretty good issue. He is battling the Scarecrow. Scarecrow unleashes his fear toxin and tells Batman that he knows what he's afraid of. He's afraid of not being able to save people. He tells Batman that his addiction is saving people, and that his biggest fear is not being able to save people. And can Batman overcome this? Most likely. He's the Batman. But Scarecrow does have a little secret weapon, and that is all the other characters, such as Two-Face and the Joker. You know how big and bad they were in past issues? Well, Scarecrow kind of does that to Batman this one, and Batman goes to battle a rather famous superhero in the DC world. So, good issue. I'd recommend it. Alright, number 5, Aquaman. Kind of mixed on this one. It was really good up until it started not to be good. It picks up where it last left off. He is at home, gets a phone call, and they say that these scientists have found this transmitter of sorts that looks like the A on Aquaman's belt, which stands for not Aquaman, but Atlantean, or Atlantis, one of them. And it's emitting this high, piercing, screeching sound. And they're just complaining about how bad it hurts, and it's breaking all this glass, and they want Aquaman to come down and find out what it is. So Aquaman goes down and is checking it out. And, these soldiers come through. They end up taking it. They end up taking it, and Aquaman jumps on the ship, trying to get this transmitter back. He ends up breaking one of the soldiers' face masks, and all this water just comes out. And he realizes that there's some type of Atlantean. And one of the crew members says, "We have a leak, don't shoot." But one of them shoots anyways, and the whole ship blows up, throwing Aquaman into the desert, where he lands. He starts hallucinating, and he sees his father, and it really shows his attitude towards himself, where he's doubting everything that he does. And yeah, it's pretty good. And then all of a sudden a Navy helicopter comes up, saves him, and I don't remember anything else. I guess Plop was talking about it, and I didn't remember anything he was talking about, so I must have just tuned out when it started not being very good. But overall, it is a good comic. It just has some bad parts towards the end. Alright, and last one. All-Star Western number 5. The last 2 issues have been pretty disappointed, meaning number 4 and number 5. This one picks up right where the last one left off. Jonah Hex and Dr. Arkham are captured and about to be killed. So, one of the main bad guys tells the person that has Jonah Hex and Dr. Arkham captured to take them to cave number 6, which I didn't think anything about, but Plop brought the point. Excuse me. That cave number 6 might be important to remember for future issues, or maybe for any type of crossover in the future. Maybe there's just something important about cave number 6, because he didn't say just take them and dump them in this pool of water, let them drown. He says take them to cave number 6. So, what's cave number 6? I don't know. Anyway, they get thrown in this water, and yeah, they get thrown in water. I think Dr. Arkham can't swim, so he's frantically trying to stay alive. Finally, they find the face of a cliff and save themselves, but they don't have any food, any water, no light, nothing like that. And Dr. Arkham is just complaining the whole time, and Jonah Hex is telling him just to shut up or he's going to kill him and all that. And they start climbing up this side of the mountain. They get attacked by this ancient Indian tribe. I think they're called like the Miyagi or Miyagani, something like that. They have their teeth filed down, and they don't have any eyes. They're fair skinned, so you know they've been down in the caves for a long time to adapt to that. And they're throwing spears, and Jonah Hex is just being a BA and kicking butt. Dr. Arkham decides to join in the fun because he realized that Jonah Hex is his only hope for survival. So he takes like a stick and hits one of them in the back of the head, and then just starts getting demolished himself. And Jonah Hex has to save him. But after that, they start climbing some more, and Dr. Arkham's complaining about, oh, my arms are so tired, I don't know if I can go any farther. And Jonah Hex just says, well, if you're going to fall silently. And yeah, I like the bickering between them. This issue kind of overdid the whole bickering thing, but parts of it were pretty funny. And I like the development between the two characters. So, once they get to the very top of the mountain that they're climbing, or this cliff that they're climbing in the cave, they come across just a giant mutant bat, like a 6-foot tall bat. And that's where it ends. And this issue, like the last one, it just felt like it didn't really go anywhere. I mean, it seems like just nothing's happening. They just, like, number 4 and number 5, they should have just put it all into one issue and have it that. Instead, it feels like you're just getting half stories in these comics. And me and Plop were talking about this, and the Turtles are doing it right. I mean, you get what you pay for with them. And it just seems like for $3.99, they're just not giving you anything in these books. You know, with the Turtles, you get a full story and a cliffhanger. And All-Star Western, you're just getting, 20-something pages, 22 pages, 24 pages, whatever it is, of them walking 20 feet, and then the comic ends. So, kind of disappointed. And that's it. There was some news that we talked about, mainly with Mega Man and the rumored Xbox 720 not being able to play used games. So check it out if you want to hear about that. And that's all we have. Plop's pick of the week was Turtles. My pick of the week was Justice League Dark. Until next time.